Hello everyone and welcome. So, today we are going to understand the concept of list, that is how you can use the list in Python. So, let us begin and try and understand what a list is. So, list basically is a dynamic data type which is available in Python, and it is used to store multiple items in a single variable. That means, you can store more than one item using a single variable. The elements that are stored in a list, they are basically comma separated values which are put inside a square bracket. And the most important feature of list is that it can store elements of different data types. That means, it is not necessary to have a list with elements of same type. You can accumulate or you can put together elements which are of different data types. Say for instance, you can have numeric values as well as character values or string values. So, this is the syntax for a list. So, you can see the list underscore variable is the variable name. This can be any variable name that you may decide to give, and then equal to, and within the square brackets the values are written which are comma separated. Let us see an example. So, here list underscore x is the variable name, and within the square brackets I am having values 10, 11 numeric in nature, then a Ravi which is a string, and then a character A. So, this is a list. As you can see, the list consists of elements of different data types. So, in this list I can also have a value like 3.14. So, as you can see, list can have values which belongs to different data types. So, in a list, the elements there in a list has a specific index which starts from 0 and is auto incremented for the next value. Therefore, it can be considered as an ordered set. Therefore, list items are ordered, changeable, and they also allows duplicate values. So, it is somewhere like an array where we have elements in an array having specific index values, but the difference is that in an array we have elements of same data type, whereas in a list we can have elements of different data type. Let us see the example using the Python IDE. So, in this particular example, I have taken a variable first underscore list, and I have listed the elements, all are numeric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have just written print first underscore list. That means, I want to print this particular list. So, this is how you can create a list. Now, this is a very simple list having elements of only one type. So, let us execute and see the output. So, when you execute, the list is printed. As you can see, the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are printed over here. Now, say for instance, I want to create another list with some values of other data type. So, I would say second underscore list. This is a variable name which can be any as per your choice, and then I would say A, comma B, comma C. So, now I am having 3 characters A, B and C in the second list, and then I will print it again, print second underscore list. So, let us execute and see. As you can see, now the output is first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and then A, B and C. So, we can mix up also. Suppose in this second I mixed it up with 10, 20, 30, 3.14. So, I have just mixed up the elements, and let us give one string also, Delhi. So, now I am having elements of different data type in the second list. As you can see, this is a string, then characters, then numeric values, and again a number with a decimal part. So, when I execute and print it, you can see here that both the lists are printed. So, in the second list is printed as Delhi, B, C, 10, 20, 30, 3.14. So, this is the advantage of using a list, that we can have elements which can belong to different data type. Let us see this another example. Now, here we are trying to print the values in a list as per their index numbers. So, as I have told you that a list will consist of element and they will have a particular index starting from 0. So, this will be your 0th index, 1, 2. There are 3 elements and the index will start from 0. So, this is my variable list underscore city, in which I am having the name of 3 cities. From this list I want to print the value at index 0 and at index 2. So, when I run this code, you can see the list items Delhi and Kolkata. So, Delhi is at 0th index, this is the first index, and Kolkata is the second index, and accordingly my values are printed Delhi and Kolkata. So, with the help of this index, you can access the elements within a list. Now, let us see an example of a multi-dimensional list. So, here you can see I am having a list and there is a list within a list. So, 1 and 2 they themselves are lists and they are within a list having 1 2 comma another item 1. So, we are having list within a list, and this is also a multi-dimensional list, and we want to access the elements of this multi-dimensional list. So, again we are going to use the index values. So, I am saying print list 0 and 1. So, this is the first index and this is the second index. So, which elements are going to be printed? So, the 0th and the first element of the list we are going to print. So, let us execute and see the output. So, as you can see here, the element in the output is 2. So, how and why the output is 2? Because 0 is the index of this particular list and 1 is the index of this element within this particular list. Let us print one more value. Now, I am printing the value of list index at 1 and its 0th value. Let us see the output. As you can see, the output is now 1, because this is the index 1 of the list and this is the 0th element, that means the 0th indexed element of that particular list. So, this is how you can access the element from a multi-dimensional list using the index numbers. We can also use certain functions. One of the most basic functions which are used is len. So, this particular function is going to give the length or the size of a list. So, here we are having 3 elements, therefore, the output is 3. So, you can use len function to find the size of a particular list. Say I increase the elements here, I give few more elements and now I want to see the size of the list. So, you can see the output is now 5, since there are 5 elements in the list. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Therefore, the output is 5. Now, let us see an example of negative index. How you can access the elements with negative index values. So, these negative index values are used sometime to access the list from the reverse direction, that is from the back side. So, we are going to access the element using the negative index. So, if I give list, that is the variable name of the list where the list is stored, this is my list, and I give the index as -1. So, -1 means it will print the last element of the list, that is C. And if I type print list -3, so this is going to print the third last element of the list, either B. Let us see the output. As you can see here, -1 is printing the last element of the list, which is C, and -3 is printing the third last element of the list, which is B. Similarly, you can print from the back side any of the element using the negative index value. So, if I say print list -5, so it is going to print the fifth last value. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, A is printed. So, this is how negative indexes can be used with list. Now, let us understand how cloning can be done in list. That means, you just want to copy the element of a list into another list. It is very simple. I am having a list with values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I want this list to be copied or to be cloned into another list, which I am naming as list underscore B. So, what I have to do? Simply write list underscore B is equal to list underscore A. So, then I am going to print both the list, and let us see the output. As you can see in the output, my list A was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and since I have written list B is equal to list A. So, the elements of list A are copied into the elements of list B. So, you can see the list B is printed as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is very simple to clone or to copy the elements of one list to another list. Just you have to put a equal to symbol between the new list and the list that you want to copy. Now, let us again see an example of a nested list. That means, we can have a list inside a list. Again, my list, which I am naming now as a L list, is a mixed list which is having elements of different data type, and as you can see that 2, 3, 4, these are the elements or these are the list inside a list. Now, I can access the element within the list using a while loop. So, what I am doing? I am trying to recursively access the element inside this particular list, and this list having a nested list, that means a list inside a list. So, I am initializing a variable I equal to 0, and what I am doing? I am moving I to the size of the list. So, I am using the len function. As you have seen, len is going to give you the size of the list. So, my loop is going to run till the size of the list, and then I am printing the list values and incrementing the value of I. So, simply what I am doing? I am trying to print the index values as well as the elements inside the list. Let us see the output. So, as you can see, list 0 is 1, right. List 0 means the index 0. At index 0 I am having 1, at index value 1 I am having B, Delhi. At index 3 I am having another list 2, 3, 4, and in list 4, that is at index 4, I am having a value 8.9. So, this is a nested list, since there is a list inside a list, that is 2, 3, 4. So, I am accessing the value inside the list using a while loop, and I am iterating inside the loop, and I am printing the index values as well as the values in the list, as you can see in the output. So, this is how you can use a loop to access the element inside a list. So, now you must have understood that how you can create a list and how you can access the element of the list. So, in the next class we are going to understand various functions that you can use with list. Thank you.